My son is getting physically assaulted during school and the principal isn't doing anything to stop it besides claiming my son must have been provoking the other kid to do something, but that shouldn't matter if my son is literally getting strangled, right? My child, Max, is 6 and in kindergarten. I first began hearing about his bully, we'll call him Steve, in September 2024. Max told me he was being antagonized by Steve. I told my son to tell Steve to leave him alone loud enough to get the teacher's attention. If Steve doesn't stop and the teacher doesn't hear you, walk away / put lots of distance between you and Steve. If he still won't leave you alone, go right up to an adult and tell them. I spoke over the phone to his teacher and he assured me that he would keep an eye on them. Soon after, Max came home and told me that he was sent to the bathroom with Steve alone and Steve shoved him into the stall while saying get in there. Because it got physical, I requested a meeting with his teacher to talk about what we can both do to prevent it from happening again. Eventually I'm able to get the school to agree to take precautions like sending them in different directions if they're too close during recess, rearranging their seating chart, and not letting them be alone together. The principal also tells me that they can't guarantee anything will work and that Max won't be picked on again. I tell them I know it won't be fixed overnight. I reassured them both that I understood and just wanted to work together. Fast forward, I get a call from the principal telling me that Max was punched in the stomach during recess. I'm told that they were going to take appropriate disciplinary action and apologized. I thanked them for letting me know and told them I was on my way to take Max home for the day. I wanted him to tell me what happened while it was fresh on his mind. The principal then starts to ask me if Max would have done anything to provoke Steve to hit him. I'm taken aback and say no. Max went to daycare and Head Start and never got any kind of behavior reports. In fact, all of my son's teachers loved him and often told me he has a sweetheart. He had lots of friends that were always excited to see him as well. The principal then says, well, Max called Steve fat and that's why Steve defended himself. The conversation begins to focus more on Max. While the principal doesn't outright say this, it sounds like he believes Max deserved being punched in the stomach and will face consequences for calling Steve fat. I say, I understand he shouldn't call people names, but that is nowhere near as serious as being assaulted and I need to know more about how that will be handled. That scene makes something click for a second because they chose not to punish my son and I was told they would speak with the other student's family. I never received a follow-up, but the teacher tries new anti-bullying methods in class and I don't hear anything about Steve for a few months, so I'm okay with that, believing the school was able to correct it. Well, yesterday Max's teacher calls me around 3 o'clock to inform me that there was an incident. I'm going to tell Max's version of what happened because unfortunately the teacher did not witness it. Max told me he was playing restaurant with 2 friends and Steve kept putting his hands in Max's face to make him upset. Max told him to stop but he didn't. Max says, stop or I'm gonna tell the teacher. Steve then throws Max to the ground and orders Max's friend, Zane, to beat him up. Zane refuses, so Steve gets on top of Max and, I'm not kidding, he begins to strangle my son. Max is telling him to stop and even apologizes to Steve as he's being choked, and that's when Steve stops strangling him. Max and Zane run to tell their teacher what happened. Even though Steve strangled Max in front of 2 other children and they're all scared and telling on Steve, nothing is done. Steve isn't even kept away from Max and goes on to hit Max with his jacket while swinging it around that same day. I'd if it was intentional. I don't know what to do because I gave the school chance after chance to correct this issue. My son does not get spanked. We don't condone fighting, yet he's never been exposed to physical violence. It broke my heart knowing he experienced that, and I blame myself for not doing enough to prevent this. So I am done being patient. I tell the school that I want to talk to the principal immediately. He wasn't on campus but wanted to do a phone conference with me still. I'm not sure why he wanted to do that because he wasn't even on school grounds and I wasn't sure if he even knew what happened, and he didn't. So I tell him the story. My husband is there with me and this is his first time hearing the whole story as well. Naturally, he gets angry and sort of questions why they aren't worried about a child strangling other students and if the school is even competent. The principal gets angry, shuts down, and literally says, I know nothing, what do you want me to do about it in this moment of time? I told him I wasn't sure why he didn't schedule to meet me tomorrow but that I would call then and see when I could visit with him. I'm extremely upset at how insensitive the principal has been for every incident, and I'm feeling like he won't do anything to help me. I'm giving him 2 days to tell me their judgment of the situation. I told them I don't want Max moved to a different class. I want a signed incident report. I want to view the camera footage if they don't believe my son is being truthful. And I tell them Max won't be attending until we resolve this and I'm certain that he is safe in their care. The principal tries to refuse and I tell them those are my expectations and I won't accept anything else. I've never done this and I know that what happened is serious but I don't know what to do. I submitted a bullying report to the superintendent yesterday and I'm being told I should involve police if the school won't document this or review footage. I need any advice you guys can give. I live in Texas, BTW. Update. Max and I met with the principal today. He asks for Max's story and Max tells it exactly how he told me Monday. Principal asks extra questions like, can you remember how he put his hands on you? Max tells him he squeezed my neck like this, puts one hand around throat. Principal tells him, did you see a nurse after you told your teacher? Max says no. Principal says, okay Max, that's all of my questions, thank you. He turns to me and apologizes for how our first meeting went. He tells me that he has children and he understands why I was upset. He doesn't usually conduct himself the way he did, he won't ever disrespect us like that again, and he hopes he can gain my trust back. I'm surprised but happy and thank him for saying that. He then tells me, you were the first person that told me what happened that day. We have protocols for things like this and nothing was followed. We failed you. Max should have been immediately sent to the nurse, and even if I am not on school grounds I am supposed to be notified so that I can investigate it and speak with you in person. He also says that Max's story matches the other 2 boys that witnessed the assault and that he couldn't make me a copy of the footage but offered to allow me to record it on my phone after blurring faces. He says the incident took place on the playground in a little closed-in area beneath the slide that has a window. Makes sense to me because Max had said they were playing restaurant. But principal said he does have video of Steve touching Max's face to pick on him, a commotion under slide, and the 3 boys running to tell the teacher, so he believes it happened exactly as Max describes it. What a relief. He also says he can't tell me what the other child's discipline was, but he will say that the family was really upset with the choices principal made. But principal tells me he will stand on his decisions and protect his students like his own. Then he says what we've all been saying here, that kind of behavior is learned and I've notified who I had to in order for that to be investigated. We end the meeting with the principal thanking me for seeing him, asks if I had any more questions, guarantees that the boys will have no further interaction the rest of the year, and he will make sure they won't be in the same class next year. He asks me if he can visit with Max daily and ask how his day is going and if I will give him a chance to prove Max is safe at school. I tell him yes, let's see how it goes. I'm satisfied with the meeting overall and I do feel more at ease. Principal seemed genuine and remorseful, he didn't take it serious at first. I ask Max during the car ride home, how do you feel when I say you're going back to school Monday? He excitedly says happy. I don't think I need to do anything more than be a helicopter mom until I see actions lining up with words. I'm actually so happy that I heard what I wanted to hear and really just super relieved I don't have to go against the school district because I was preparing to do it even though I was so anxious. Do you guys think this meeting was sufficient?